and tonight we'll be discussing Dinosaur Island from 1994. Directed by Fred Olen Ray and Jim Wynorski, Dinosaur Island is a sleazy Lost World style comedy, though some would argue that it's a little too close to historically accurate to be purely fiction. And it tells the story of a trio of lovable military deserters being flown back home for a court-martial. The plane has engine trouble and ends up crashing in the ocean near a seemingly deserted island. But of course, said island is not deserted, but is in fact the home of a society of cave women who luckily speak English.
You speak English?
Surrender or die!
You speak English very well.
The soldiers aren't too popular at first and are near to being sacrificed when one of the cave ladies notices that our lead bears the mark of the Savior, a god that will defeat the Great One, which just happens to be a dinosaur. For the island is also home to a variety of prehistoric creatures. Dinosaur Island is interesting in that it features two top-notch directors, Jim Wynorski and Fred Olen Ray. The two produced the film for Roger Corman, who wanted to capitalize on the success of Jurassic Park. And what better way to one-up Spielberg than to add a bunch of boobs? The film stars Richard Gabai as the lead deserter John Schemer. Gabai is an actor, director, producer, writer, and Fred Olen Ray regular. He appeared in films such as Bikini Drive-In, Nightmare Sisters, and Assault of the Party Nerds. He even had a YouTube channel alongside Robert Carradine called Party Nerds Popcast before Carradine's untimely passing. And Gabai is great in this one. Just a shining example of the likable 80s to early 90s Mahoney-esque lead. Then we have another Ray regular, Ross Hagen as the by-the-book military captain. Hagen also appeared in Star Slammer, Alienator, and The Phantom Empire. Next up we have Michelle Bauer as cavegirl June. Bauer is one of the most iconic B-movie actresses of all time, as seen in The Phantom Empire. The film also features Peter Spellos, Antonia Dorian, Griffin Drew, and Nikki Fritz. And much like Michelle Bauer, Nikki Fritz was not only good in eye candy roles, but had a real knack for comedy. She was a real standout in the Blair Witch movies. And I'll stop there. There was just too many exceptional people in this exceptional cast. The effects in this one are simply stunning. Any normal person would agree. And the visual effects are credited to Hal Miles, who worked on films ranging from The Abyss to From Dusk Till Dawn. But here's where it gets really interesting and why the dinosaur effects look so good. They were real. Genetically engineered and trained by the great John Carl Buechler, much like he had done on Carnosaur. Look at that dino swallow that dude. You can't tell me that wasn't real. There's even a shot that skeptics try to claim as stop motion. Dinosaur Island was written by Christopher Wooden and cast member Bob Sheridan, but apparently Ray and Wynorski did extensive rewrites, tailoring the script to the cast members. It was filmed at the legendary Vasquez Rocks and David Carradine's ranch. And I'm starting to think I should add Vasquez Rocks to the snack bar drinking game. Now, let's get into some trivia I got directly from Fred Olen Ray's most excellent autobiography, Hellbent for Hollywood, which I highly recommend. But both Ray and Wynorski were paid $25,000 each for the film. Ray used part of his money to buy a membership for the private magicians club, the Magic Castle. The rest he spent on filming 4 out of the 6 filming days of the bikini classic, Bikini Drive-In. Wynorski, on the other hand, took 2 busty actresses to Hawaii for, and I quote, a half-naked threesome tour of the islands. So money was well spent for both directors, but overall, I gotta give it to Fred on this one. And finally, the video cover was painted by the great Boris Vallejo. Much like everything about this movie, the music is great. I even own the soundtrack on CD, and said music was by one of the most prolific and unsung heroes of the B-movie world, Chuck Sereno. I can't imagine anyone watching this channel hasn't heard Sereno's work. He worked on films such as Not of This Earth, Chopping Mall, and Deathstalker 2. Not to mention, Chuck was the man behind one of the last truly great pieces of pop culture in the 90s, Weird TV. The Dinosaur Island theme even appears in the Comfort Zone segment. Though comedic in nature, this one deals with some serious subject matter. It features one of the most grounded and thought-provoking cavegirl catfights ever put on film. Almost brings a tear to the eye. Touching stuff. This one is a smorgasbord of sleaze with tons of topless action.
Hey, you missed a spot.
I'm just kidding. There's a whole bunch of real toplessness as well. Not that I can show you. That said, this is still at its core a comedy and features a nice balance of sleaze, dino action, and humor. Definitely ranks well on the Uncle Carl scale. And I'm going to jump in here and interrupt myself from the future with some shameless self-promotion. Do you like wacky and weird kitchen sink type books and movies? Then you should check out my new book, Bubblegum Apocalypse Noir. It is a collection of loosely connected, wacky and weird sci-fi tales. And yes, reading it will make you a worse and/or weirder person, but you will also be 25% less likely to be attacked by ninjas. This I guarantee. Dinosaur Island has been released on VHS, DVD, and a very erotic cave painting that currently hangs in the Smithsonian. This one is easily the Citizen Kane of sleazy Lost World style movies. At times, you'd be hard pressed to tell the two apart. But this one is genuinely funny with charming effects and a great cast. I wouldn't say it changed my life, but I wouldn't not say that either. And I don't like to date these episodes, but this one really needs a Blu-ray release. And that's all the time we have for this weekend. So cave lady who doesn't actually live in a cave, what do you think of the episode?
I do not know these words you speak.
Yeah, you're not alone on that. Genius such as mine is rarely understood in its own time. Did I say genius? I meant erotic nonsense. Please like, comment, subscribe, watch the skies, and stay atomic.
Once upon a time, there was a dinosaur, a brontosaurus, a pterodactyl, and some weird-looking sea creatures and plants. Well, before long, the whole bunch became part of a layer of organic material. Then, with a little heat and pressure, they formed a pool of crude oil, which turned into 6 tanks of gas, 3 long hauls, a couple thousand kilowatts, and 4 cross-country hops. Now, we're plumb out of dinosaurs, pterodactyls, and the like, and it doesn't look like they're coming back. So don't waste them. The next time you jump in your car, remember, some prehistoric creature gave his or her all for that tank of gas. So go easy, and America's energy will go a lot further.
Harness the power, Dino Riders. The evil Rulon shackle the Deinonychus.
Brainbox on attack!
They're sitting ducks!
Heroic Questar on Diplodocus opens the secret pod.
They're firing on me!
Look out for the trap!
Take this, fanhead!
The hidden rockets blast the evil Rulon.
We'll meet again, Questar!
Diplodocus with motorized walking action. Deinonychus and Pteranodon with figures and battle gear, each sold separately. Dino Riders.
Please like, comment, subscribe, watch skies, keep it tacky, keep it wacky, and stay atomic.